Welcome back.
Welcome
to another episode.
Episode of V Single.
V Single podcast. We're back together. I'm Alexandra Tweeten.
I'm Allison Stevenson.
And
I just got a text from somebody who I thought was ignoring me.
Oh.
Pause.
Literally right now.
Okay. Sorry, what'd you say? I'm back in it, baby. I'm back in it.
Back in the game.
Oh, my God. Waiting 8 hours for a man to text back. Love it.
Wow. You don't miss it.
No, not at all. I texted this guy twice last night and he didn't respond. And then I just texted him again today and he finally responded.
So annoying.
Because that's me at age 30 is just really like, you think I'm annoying? Block me. But until then, I'm just going to keep fucking texting you.
Yeah.
But he actually responded well, so.
Oh. So is this someone you've already met?
We went on one date. He actually wants to come on the podcast.
What?
And I was like, okay, maybe if you go on the podcast, listeners can vote on whether we go out again. And he seemed into it, so maybe that's our next guest.
Well,
we'll see.
Why did he want to come on the podcast? Like, what is he?
We can wait until because I don't want to blow up his spot if.
Oh, okay, all right.
If it doesn't happen,
okay. Well, what other Tinder updates do you have?
Oh, God. It's such a fucking... it's all just coming back to me. I'm like, oh, this is it. Like, It was a little bit exciting at first because it's so fresh again. And you're like, oh, look at all these guys.
Yeah.
And then now that it's been a few weeks, I'm like, oh, look at all these guys. Look at all these shitty guys who fucking suck.
Before, last time, you were like, you know what? It's way better.
Yeah.
It's way better.
That's what I thought.
And now it's like, wait, no, just kidding.
I had all these dates and like these guys are super nice. And now I'm like, it's 2 weeks later and one of them hasn't texted me in a while. And then the other one's like this one, and I'm like, oh, this whole thing again where it's like.
Yeah. Everyone is nice to your face. And then.
Yeah. Even if a date goes really well, it doesn't mean anything.
That means nothing.
It literally means nothing. Like you vibe really well. Yeah. You text a lot the days leading up to the date.
Yep.
And then as soon as the date happens,
it's like it never happened. It's like, was that a dream? So quickly you get tired of the Tinder bullshit.
Yeah, I literally what's the saying? The flame has flamed out. The candle has been burned at both ends.
Oh my God.
What's that phrase?
The flame has been extinguished.
It's been extinguished. I don't know.
I don't know which.
I'm fucking done.
I don't know what metaphor you're going for.
I don't know either. Maybe I was trying to make one up. But
because of Tinder. Because
I did not even make that connection.
Okay.
Fuck.
I thought that's what you were going for.
Yeah, the Tinder didn't
spark.
There is no wildfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no brush fire, which I guess is a good thing. Dude, last night actually, it was like the weirdest it's ever been for me. Where like I was talking to this guy, and I was actually excited to start talking to him because here's the thing. I've noticed that most guys don't message
on Tinder. You're only on Tinder, right?
I'm only on Tinder.
Okay.
I hate Bumble. I don't know why people like Bumble. It makes no sense to me.
I don't like it either.
And I hate Hinge even more. Like, they're all just so... Like, Tinder, it's like a lot of shitheads and fuckboys, but at least they're, like, hot and cool. Like, on Bumble and Tinder... I mean, on Bumble and Hinge, it's all the most basic fucking dudes whose every single bio is like, adventures in tacos.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck off.
They're like, I work in finance, and I do Tough Mudders.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't want to fuck any of you.
If you've ever done a Tough Mudder... I never want to talk to you ever.
Yeah, we're never going to date. Like, that's
you own going out shirts that are like, button down.
Right.
Going out shirts.
Yeah.
I can't fuck with that.
Yeah, and you probably wash them regularly, which is turn off.
You probably make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Which, no, thank you.
You're probably wealthy and stable, so fuck off.
Yeah, gross.
But like, so I noticed I'm kind of like being a fuckboy, I guess. I don't know. But I literally am just mass messaging guys the same opening message.
What is it?
I'm not going to say what it is.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say what it is. But it's the same opening message. It's kind of like sassy a little bit, but it's like, but it's because I won't get a message for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Or 5 days. And finally I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll say something.
Yeah.
So I'll just say something. It's like akin to like, all right, now what? Like,
yeah. Okay. All right.
It's something like that.
Yeah, because I feel like guys, especially on Tinder, they just swipe right on everyone. And then they like,
I guess so. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to fucking sit around. Because old Allison would wait and be like, well, he didn't message me, so he's not interested.
Yeah.
And then I would only talk to the guys who messaged me first. But that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to initiate. So I just like mass message like 20 dudes every 5 days.
Okay.
When they don't message me.
Yeah. And then see who messages.
And then guys start responding and it's all chill. And so like a few guys I've been talking to because of that. And one of the guys I started talking to was like really flirty and really vibey, like right away. And I looked at his profile and I was like, oh, you're like really attractive, like to me. And then like he had his Instagram link. So like I looked at his Instagram and it's like, okay, he's like comedy adjacent, but not a comedian. Like he's like attractive and like, you know, like I like tall, like kind of like darker dudes, you know, brunette, mustache. Like I dig it. it. And so I was really vibing with him and we were chatting for like 15 minutes and it was like really fun and funny and we're just joking a lot, you know, about Tinder and shit. And then like randomly the mood just like suddenly changes. Whoa. And he's like, it's something to the, I forgot exactly what he said, but he's just like, what are you on Tinder for, basically? And I was like, I don't know. I just got out of a relationship. Like, you know, I'm looking to date, not really looking for casual, but like also like not trying to get in a relationship right away. So I basically told him that, and then he was like, I don't know what I want. I was like, okay. And then I was like still trying to keep it fun and flirty. So I was like, well, maybe we'll go on a date and find out, like, and maybe you'll love it and you'll know what you want, or, you know, like I was just, you know, keeping the flirt up. And he was like, honestly, before you messaged me, I was about to delete the app. And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Can we just go back to being strangers and pretend this never happened?
What?
She's like, what the fuck?
That is so insane.
I was like, dude, okay, I wasn't like fighting for him. I'm not going to like fight for you, like to convince you to go on a date with me.
No.
I just like really quickly was like, this is a very weird, like sudden change of mood vibe, but I guess it's for the best if this is how you would have been after a date. So peace out. And like, I just deleted our text conversation, unmatched him on Tinder. Wow. And was like, peace out. But it was...
And that was like after you started texting.
We were texting on the phone.
Oh.
And like literally up until then, everything was so flirty and so funny. And I was like, wow, we really vibe and like have shit in common. And then boom, like, I don't know what I want. Can we just be strangers?
What?
Holy shit. Like...
That is so crazy. I wonder if maybe it's because like you said you were just out of a relationship or something and he was like, oh, I'm looking for a relationship or and was like then discouraged or something.
I don't know because
or
like...
maybe, do you think it was something that you said that he was like, oh, never mind?
Maybe, but it was just like, he was like, I don't know what I want, which to me was like, okay, you don't know if you want.
You
like,
must know if you want. Also, why would you ask that question to someone if you didn't also know and couldn't answer it?
Well, I told him that I'm like not into casual sex right now. Like,
oh, so maybe he's like only looking for casual sex.
I don't know, because what he said was, I don't know what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
So I take that as you don't know what you want.
I think when guys say that I don't know what they want, I don't know what I want, when guys say that, like, I think they do know what they want, but they're afraid to say it.
Yeah. Well, maybe, but I was like...
I mean, I guess sometimes maybe they just actually don't know, but...
I mean, I don't know what I want, and I still said, at least, like, I just got out of a relationship, I'm looking to date, and I don't know if I can do casual. Like, I laid out the groundwork of like, okay, I don't know exactly what I want, but here's some things going on in my life that you should know about. And he was just like, I've been on Tinder a long time. I don't know what I want.
Okay, well,
can we be strangers? I'm like, fine, bro. Peace out. Like,
so weird.
It was insane. I was like, wow, Tinder just keeps surprising me. Men just keep surprising me in all these fun and exciting ways.
Wow. I'm gonna steal that the next time I'm talking to someone who I don't like.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, can we be strangers now? Bye. Like, what?
Yeah. Apologies. I'm a fuckhead.
No, I won't do that. But
it really pissed me off.
That's incredible.
It's like, no wonder you've been on Tinder for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's your answer.
You know what? I think a lot of people's problems would be solved if they just figured out what they fucking wanted.
Perhaps.
Just like if you are only there for casual sex, then just say that. Or like if you are only there to like date, like say like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about mostly guys here.
Right.
That's the line that I've heard over and over.
I have respect for dudes in their Tinder bio who are just like, I'm just here for something casual.
Yeah.
Or like just here for fun, quote unquote,
That's fine. Like get it out of the way.
Yeah. Like you're being open and upfront. Like I'm going to swipe left, but like good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like that is most of what like the problem that people have with Tinder because and any dating site. It happens when you have different people looking for different things and like they're not on the same page of like you know, if like I meet up with a guy and he's only looking for like casual sex and I'm looking for like a relationship, it's just like so much, misunderstandings and
I mean, it's definitely got to be brought up quickly. Like if not while texting or talking, like on the first date.
But even when I was on Tinder and did bring it up or any dating site, guys just will not tell you. They're just like, well, I don't know.
They'll be vague.
And it's like, am I wasting my time here or not? Like, I can never tell.
I don't know. I mean, it's also
and I mean, a lot of it does depend on like, well, do I get along with this person? Do I like them?
Right. That's the thing is like, I could see a lot of people being like, I don't know, because it's like, I just met you, so I don't know if we're going to vibe or whatever. But like,
of course,
just
like in general, taking,
they're open
like
to the
taking
idea.
me out of the equation.
Right.
Like what are you,
what
what's
are you
your
looking for?
Goal?
Yeah. A lot of guys don't know.
Yeah.
They just don't know.
They don't know, or they're like too afraid to say it. And that is so annoying to me.
Yeah. Well, just like do some introspection. Like,
I know.
Like with this guy, like I didn't talk to him anymore. I didn't care to have more conversation with him. But I was like, okay, you've been on Tinder for a really long time.
Then why are you on Tinder? Like, you know?
Yeah. But you're still saying you don't know what you want. And you have an opportunity to go on a date with somebody who you're vibing with, but you're like pushing it away. Like, do you think about how your behavior, like...
How you could be the problem?
Yeah. Like, do these things connect with you? Or are you just kind of like going about your day like...
I'm just on Tinder, but like, I don't know why I do it. like maybe just have an ounce or like a speck of, self-reflection.
Yeah. Just be like, why do I do this? What do I want? Why am I talking to this person? Like... Just ask yourself some questions.
Yeah.
Find out the answers.
Exactly.
Before fucking being all fun and flirty with me for 20 minutes.
I think that would save so much, misunderstanding and just annoyances from online dating. If people just could take half a second and figure out what they're there for.
Pretty much.
We had an interesting
oh god, just experience. To make things even more we had
an interesting experience this weekend, and I feel like someone's fucking with us.
Dude. Okay, it's like Sunday. I'm gonna paint the picture. It's Sunday. It's like 5:45 in the evening, something like that.
Allison we were supposed to get dinner.
Yeah, we were
She's
supposed
like,
to meet up.
Let's get dinner. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
we didn't meet until later.
Yeah,
we didn't meet until like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share my experience,
yeah.
and then you say your experience,
Okay.
and then it's gonna come together.
Yeah.
So I get this text at like 5:47 p.m.
Yep.
And it's like a sexual partner recently tested positive for an STD. Go to blah blah blah.com and da da da.
Yeah, and like recommends that you get tested or whatever.
And I was just like, I freaked the fuck out. Like, I had like an instant anxiety attack, and I like my head went through all of these people. I'm like, wait a minute, I've been in a relationship, a monogamous relationship for over a year.
Yeah.
And I've been tested during that relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go. But then I was like, okay, I was intimate with one person since breaking up with my boyfriend. Could it be him? And I literally texted him, and I was just like, did you send me an anonymous text? And he didn't respond, so I'm like freaking out. And then I like go through I'm like, literally my head goes into these places because I'm like a super anxiety person. I was like, did somebody like rape me in my sleep or something?
Oh my God. What?
Like, I literally, because I was trying to figure out like, who the fuck could it be?
Yeah.
Like, who could it be? Because and I changed my phone number.
Yeah.
While
like
I was
within the last year.
Within the last year. So it's like all my past sexual encounters don't have my new number except for maybe like 2 of them.
Yeah, so literally it could only be two people.
I was like, yeah, it's
possible.
Either this guy that I
or your
did hook up
ex-boyfriend.
with. But then, so I called my ex,
That
and I'm
didn't.
freaking out. I'm like, did you send me this fucking thing? And he was like, no. And I was like, and then I had to tell him about it. Like, we had to talk about it. I had to tell him about the guy I hooked up with and all this shit. And I'm like, oh, great. This is awkward as fuck. And he was like, oh well. So I'm like freaking the fuck out. I don't know what's happening. And then in my head, I'm like going through all these guys, and I'm like, well,
how could this make sense?
Well, the one guy slept over, but like we didn't like do anything. And then, so I texted him. I was like, did you send me a random text? Like, literally all these things went through my head. I was like, who the fuck could this be that has my number and that I slept with? And it's like the only possible person is the person that I texted and he didn't respond.
Yeah.
But he finally responds, and he's like, no, what's up? And I'm like, what the fuck? What? And so, like, I'm ready to meet with you. Yeah. And so we meet up at this bar, and I, like, go up to you, and it's, like, one of the first things I say. I'm like, oh, my God, I got this text. I think, I was like, I think maybe someone's pranking me or something. Like, I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Like, I thought specifically it might be this girl who, like, I have drama with. I was like, is she fucking with me? And then you, like, super nonchalantly, just like, you're like, oh, yeah, I got that too.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, I got the text message at 5:46. You got yours at 5:47.
Yeah.
And it was like, STD check, blah, blah, blah. Like, anonymous person is like, says that you should get tested. And I looked at it and I was like, this is bullshit. I was like,
what made you think it was bullshit?
Because I haven't really slept with anyone and in the last year. And I was like, I mean, I've slept with like 3 people. And the one was like it was like the Swedish guy that was so long ago. And I was like, I don't think it would be from him. And then the other one was just my like regular, person that I hook up with sometimes. Right. But that was like months ago, like a lot, like, I don't know, a long time ago. And I was like, he would just tell me. Like, he would just text me about it or call me. He would probably just call me.
Right.
He would not be afraid of like sending it anonymously. Like, I just knew, I was like, I know that he wouldn't do that. And then like the guy that I'm seeing now was sitting right next to me. So I was like, no. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know if
so you were just chill and calm, and you're like, whatever.
I didn't even say anything, like to the person I'm kind of seeing, like hanging out with. I didn't even say anything to him because I was like, I don't want to freak him out, and he's already like hypochondriac anyway. I was like, I know this is bullshit, and like I didn't even say anything because I was just like, whatever, it's dumb. And yeah, so I was gonna be like, well, maybe I'll reach out to some people and ask just in case. But like, I was like pretty sure that it was something like, you know, someone just sending it out or like a joke or a prank or something. And so, yeah, when you said that you got it, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I got it too. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You were just so chill about it. I was like, oh, okay.
And
but
I was
then
like,
we spent the whole night being like, who could this be?
Who was this?
Because we've only slept with the same person, with one same person.
Yeah, we're only Eskimo sisters once.
And it's with the person we talk about all the time.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
and
it could be him.
It could be him, but like the last time I saw him was like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
and
the last time
I haven't spoken to him in years.
Yeah. The last time I spoke to him or saw him in person was so long ago. And I was just like, I feel like it's not him, but
But who could it be?
Exactly.
Maybe, and then I'm like, is this like, if I want the listeners to really tell us if they know about this, because like, is this like a spam thing where like,
is this a
this
thing?
website is sending it out to random numbers?
I don't, but like,
but how would they have both of our numbers?
No,
like,
it has to be someone, it has to be an attack on both of us because they sent it at the same time.
But like, who?
Just to us.
It's blowing my, I want to know. I want to get to the bottom of it.
And we were like, who has both of our numbers?
Who is like,
who would do that?
Who is, I guess, trying to do like a really mean prank, like a mean-spirited prank.
It's mean.
More
like,
so than like a, haha, this is funny.
Yeah, no.
It's like mean-spirited. So it's like, who's our enemy?
I know. Someone's fucking with us. It's like, and that's not funny. Like, luckily,
it's not.
I was like, you know, I knew it was bullshit.
I mean, luckily you didn't have a fucking heart attack and think about crazy shit.
I feel horrible for you.
I had like a full on like, what is going on? Well, I'm just like, you know, Jewish, hypochondriac, anxiety, like those things don't do well. I think they knew it would fuck with me, whoever did it. They probably
You're like, let's sow some chaos.
Yeah, they fucked up sending it to you because that calmed me down.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Yeah, as soon as you were like, I got it too, I was like, okay, it's for sure. Like,
yeah. And then I was like, then we were like, oh, well, maybe other people got it. Like
and
maybe
nobody,
some of our other friends got it too.
I mean, I didn't ask that many people, but pretty much people that I asked were like, no. So I think it's directed at me and you for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's a mystery. But like, who did we piss off? Why?
I mean, it must be Gary. Like, that's the only person I can think of.
The thing that I was like, well, maybe it's someone he's seeing who knows about both of us. And like,
or somebody he
is trying to
fathered a child with.
Yes. Or that, like, it could be someone trying to be like passive aggressive but it's like, why?
Why after all this time where it's like we're not even in each other's lives?
No,
like,
haven't talked to him or thought about him really in a very long time. I literally do not give a shit about what he's doing.
Right.
I do not care. So it's like, what? Why? I don't.
Just listeners, if you have any insight as to what the fuck is going on, please help us, because
or if this has happened to you.
It's not driving you crazy, but it is driving me crazy.
Yeah. Allison really wants to know, and I was just like, I literally don't give a shit. Like,
I loved how cool you were about it. You're like, oh yeah, I got that too. I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, who sent this? I don't really care. But that's like the best revenge is like not caring.
Oh no, you won that one for sure. I lost.
Like if they're trying to like make us freak out, I'm not going to do it. Sorry.
Well, if they're listening, they know they got me, not you.
Yeah,
but not not for long.
But how mean?
Because they know that we talk and we see each other. Like,
I know. Of course, we're gonna figure it out.
They must have known that we would eventually, compare texts.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's take a break and come back and talk to our guest.
Sounds good. Well, there's one last thing I want to talk about because now we're a Glossier endorsed podcast.
Ooh, we made it.
We made it.
We did it, finally.
So,
Glossier loves us.
Yeah.
And we love Glossier.
We do. Not even just saying that. Like, I actually do
Generally,
really like,
yeah. No, I mean, like, I'm a sucker for like packaging and like aesthetics and like how something looks. So like I was a sucker for Glossier right away because everything like looked cute. And I love like the pinks and I love the font. And I'm like, all right, I'm a sucker for this. But then to like actually try the products and they're like surprisingly really good too. It's like, oh, yeah. So you're not just a cute face. There's some depth to you.
Yeah.
So I've been very happy about that.
Me too. Yeah, I like the packaging. It looks very clean. But yeah, I've been using the Milky Jelly cleanser just exclusively, and it is actually really amazing. Mm-hmm. Like I was skeptical because I don't like a lot of other cleansers because I feel like they don't get all the makeup off, and I don't like to have to like do the makeup remover and then
the wipes and yeah.
But it's actually like you just put it on. You don't even have to like wet your face down. You just like literally rub it all over your face, dry, and it takes off everything.
Yeah, and cleans your face.
Yeah, cleans your face, and all of my makeup, like eye makeup, is gone, and then it's just like it doesn't leave your face feeling tight, so it's like moisturized. But
I like that.
Yeah, have you been using the oil? What was it?
Yeah, I've been using the Ultra Dew, I believe it's called. I love it. I mean, I'm all about like, because I get really dry skin. And it like, just like, as soon as I get out of a shower, it's just like, oh, like my face is just so tight, like what you were talking about. And I feel like the oil kind of does a similar thing where it like really, and it gives you a shine. Mm-hmm. So, you're not looking like all dry and like puckered out. It's a really good like moisturizing. And I mean, I don't wear makeup, but it's good for after you apply makeup. But even if you don't wear makeup, I find it as like a really good, just like, not a moisturizer replacement, but it's like up there as like having moisturizing effects with oils putting back in your skin, which I need as somebody who is combination. So like I get really dry skin, but then I also get really oily skin. Yeah. So I feel like something like this is actually perfect where it has moisturizing effects and then also is giving oil back to my face. Yeah.
Well, it's perfect because I mean, Glossier is kind of like their thing is like their makeup for people who don't really wear makeup.
Yeah.
Or like don't look like they wear a lot of makeup. So, and they like all of the ads, they always have the dewy skin finish.
Yeah. This stuff really gives you that dewy skin look. And as somebody who needs more oils on her face because she has oily skin, it actually helps with that too.
Sweet. Well, we've got a deal for you because, the listeners, all new customers will get 10% off their first order on glossier.com/podcast/single. So if you want to try it out, head on over there and we'll repeat it at the end too. So you can write it down and check it out.
Perfect.
All right. Well, let's talk to our guest.
Yep, let's do it. And we're back this week, joined by Amy Stretten, aka the Chief of Style.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Welcome. Can you describe the Chief of Style?
Sure. So the Chief of Style is a body positive, self-love blog that I started in about 2017. It was actually more than a blog. It was like kind of a project, a self-love project. I honestly did not like myself most of my life. I had a lot of body issues. I had a lot of negative self-talk. No matter how thin I wasn't thin enough. There was just a lot of issues that I dealt with growing up in Southern California, being queer, being a woman of color. And so I started the Chief of Style after a relationship I got out of. I needed to do a lot of self-love work. And so I started kind of in a fake it till you make it kind of way. And so I started posting photos of myself that sometimes they weren't what I considered quote unquote flattering. Other times they were just photos where I was just in a cute outfit or whatever. You know, I've always loved fashion. It just felt like fashion didn't always love me because until recently it was really hard to find cute clothes that were plus size.
Yep.
So I actually had started an Instagram beforehand that was Do It for Fashion, and it was all about losing weight so I could wear all the cute clothes.
Oh my gosh.
I kind of shifted in the opposite direction and created the Chief of Style. The Chief meaning I'm Native American, black and white, and so that's like a play on being Native, but it's also like the Chief, you're the boss, you know?
Yeah.
So it's actually like super cute when you know that like I'm Native and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Play on words. But yeah, so it really just started off as, like I said, like kind of a self-love project. And then it expanded from there. And I started working with brands and on different things. I started, getting quite a large following of folks who told me how much it's meant to them to see me like love myself unconditionally in all the ways and at all times, so.
Great.
That's really cool.
That's what I love about how like a lot of the Instagram self-love movement has been happening is like, because I have like a similar thing where it's like you post photos of yourself and it's like all about self-love and it's literally the last thing that it's for is for male attention.
Yeah.
Like straight cis male attention.
Totally.
And it drives them fucking crazy. But it's like, this is not for you at all.
Right.
And it's so beautiful to see. I love it. And it drives them nuts.
Noticed so much, like, especially recently, how anything that is not aimed at straight men, like they are having a freak out right now. They're just like, anything that is not for them, they're like, what's going on?
Yeah, they're like,
for all of history, the norm has like everything has been directed towards us. So then when it's like something different, they're like, what?
They're just so quick to write it off as like vanity. And so it's like when it's actually like, oh, actually this is purely like for me and it's not to get attention.
It's not for you
at all. They like are like, wait a minute, but don't you exist to give me attention? Like
exactly. It's happening in like, in movies and stuff where we're seeing all these like female leads and different other types of, minorities that you haven't previously seen in movies. And they're like the leads and guys have been just like, it even happened with like Parasite. It's like,
so this movie actually isn't that good. Or like,
that mostly having to do with white guys, but like, but like they are freaking out. They're just like, why do they have to put women in these like action movies?
Right?
And it's like, not everything is for you anymore.
The worst, just like on that tip of like, dude, bro, like whatever is, when I've seen like examples of. Like folks of color, actors of color in movies where it's like a mythical character anyway. Yeah. And then when people are like, oh, like for example, there can't be black people in Game of Thrones. Yeah. Or there can't be like black people in this. I'm like, this is fake anyway.
Yeah. Why not?
This, right?
Someone made it up.
No rules.
There are no rules. So why are we like sticking to these like really like passe ridiculous rules that,
I know.
We should be breaking anyway.
It's so stupid. Yeah. It's like, there were black people in Star Trek, okay? Like,
like there will be black people in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
There probably won't be white people, actually, is where it's going.
Yeah. Totally.
But that's amazing. I love the Chief of Style. Big fan. You and the Instagram.
Thank you so much.
And excited to have you here.
Thanks. Yeah, it's interesting because the Chief of Style, like I've kind of... Like at first, I sort of just did it as a self-love project, and then I started to get more involved with brands, and it became like a source of income. And for a while, it was my full-time income. And I'm trying to figure out where I want to take it next. I was a journalist before I started the blog, which I think is what helped me grow it so quickly because I understand SEO and I understand about knowing your audience and engagement and all those types of things. But because I used to be a journalist, like I want to talk about deeper things, like body positivity and self-love are probably like as deep as you get, like really when you're talking about like your own, like one's own issues, looking in the mirror and appreciating themselves. But there's other things that exist in the world than just body positivity that I'd like to talk about. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that while still like talking about fashion and style and representation, because I do feel like there is so much like depth in what we wear. Like clothing is drag at the end of the day. And I'm a queer femme. And when I go out into the world, like what I wear represents who I am on the inside. And when I look at like indigenous cultures, you know, everything they wear in their regalia is significant. You know, it's about their clan, it's about their tribe, about their family, where they came from. And so I think about that when I get dressed every day. Like I'm very intentional on what I wear. So I'd like to still have those fun conversations, but then also kind of bring it to a level that's like things we also need to be talking about that we may not be, you know, right on CNN, but like we're not talking about it together, you know. So
and it's something that like the big fashion magazines don't really touch on, like like those deeper issues and stuff like that.
Right.
It's that's so important.
Yeah.
My brand, well, my goal in life has always been to change the world in an entertaining way. Like I always wanted to be Oprah. So it's really about, to me, like meshing highbrow, lowbrow. Like we're not all like single faceted people. Like we have multiple issues.
Yes. We contain multitudes.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I love the idea of also educating people while making it fun.
Right.
Because it's like, you don't want to read things that are just like, here I am, like preaching at you. You know, you have to make it fun and make people want to engage with it.
And sorry, one other thing I was going to say on that is that I think too, what's important about that is that you're letting folks know that A, these issues do affect them, whether they know it or not, and B, they have power in those situations, and they have agency, and they can make a difference in some small way. So I think that's, you know, kind of powerful too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say that there is like, that is a real downside to like being on social media and having a brand, quote unquote, is just like, you really are expected to only talk about one thing, or like to only have like one type of style, like one type of photo you post. Like people kind of like,
it has to be cohesive.
Yeah, it really does. And it's like,
you don't have a brand.
You try to like skew from that, and it's like, it's harder, you know, there's less engagement, people don't care. Like, it's like, oh man, I feel like they only want to see me to be like one kind of person.
Right.
And that's like a hard thing to like, I mean, I've been trying to be more like, don't give a fuck how many likes it gets, like just post it anyway. But it's so hard when you're like, wow, people don't give a fuck about anything other than my fat naked body.
Well, I think too, like the algorithm has changed a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's always changing, but like recently it's changed to the point where it's hard for folks to grow. Like before you could grow really quickly, but then they instituted the blue check and then like all these other things. And
it's
the algorithm,
turning, I mean, especially Instagram is like turning into Facebook. They're owned by Facebook.
Yeah. It's getting worse.
I see a point where people aren't going to be on it anymore.
Oh, totally.
Or it's just going to be like people from our generation and everyone younger.
It's going to be Facebook basically in like 3 years or whatever.
And like, do you ever go on Facebook? I only go for
literally
events
never.
and like when I get a stupid notification.
Yeah, just we have like a Facebook group for a podcast, and I think that's like the main reason I'm on it. Like I literally do nothing else on it.
I know my blog and my Instagram auto post to my Facebook page, like my Chief of Style page on Facebook, but I feel so bad. I like never go on there, but then I'll see that there's some cool comments and I'm like, damn it, why am I not responding to these people? Somebody is still seeing this, you know. But,
sad. Facebook, man.
Well, let's talk about dating.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah. What we're really here for. So what is your relationship status?
I am VVV single.
Nice. Yeah.
You came to the right place.
Right? I know. Is this a support group? What time is the meeting? Like, Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm very single.
That's great.
So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm very single.
How long have you been single?
So I've had like kind of like situationships over the last couple of years, but my last significant relationship, which just kind of changed my whole life in a lot of ways, was about 3 years ago. Okay. 2.5, 3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually just got over that like last week. Which is amazing.
Wow, last week.
Yeah, we met up. She was in town. She lives on the East Coast, and she was in town, and we just sort of talked about things, and I just sort of realized after that conversation that she is in no place to like see what she did in the relationship that caused it to not work, and blamed everything on me. And literally sees no fault in any actions or any words that she utters. So
wow.
Are you sure she wasn't a man?
Jesus, I know. I mean,
Like,
that's
this
a whole
sounds
other
like a lot of dudes
conversation.
I've been with.
Yeah, I mean, toxic masculinity presents itself not just with cis het men, you know?
Totally.
It is so rampant in the queer community, and I talk about this all the time. I feel like femmes get shat on, like, all the time.
Really?
The way that, like, masculinity is just worshipped in all types of communities is
Right.
just so disgusting to me. And it definitely shows up in the queer community. I mean, if you know, people will say, well, she doesn't look gay. And it's like, well, what the hell does gay look like? You know, and usually it looks like buzzed hair or locks or like, you know, something masculine in that way. But I just feel like those women or those queer folks who are more mask of center tend to be like hot commodities in the queer community. Whereas I just see femmes, like, we're there, we give love, affection, like all this, and then we just get like booted. Like it's just a nice, you know, I would say, oh, it's just my sob story, but no, like I've seen it happen time and time and again with femme friends. So
Yeah.
Reminds me of Shane on the L Word.
yeah, that's real.
Yeah, it's real.
It's true. So, and dating in LA is just awful. I will say that.
It's awful for the queers too.
Yeah, it is. And I do know that it's pretty bad for straight folks. Because I do have
It's
straight
everyone
friends.
though. It is everyone.
Just everybody.
No matter what your orientation. We all came here to like be creative and like work and do weird stuff like that they don't do anywhere else in the country.
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe New York, but
yeah.
I feel like, I don't know if it's just that everyone's an opportunist. Everyone just wants to hold out till they get something better. Like, but there's something in
All of the
this.
above.
Like, it's just in the water. I don't know. But, But yeah, it just seems as though people are just not genuine. They're not like good-hearted and selfless sometimes. Like, I feel like most people are just very selfish and flaky. I mean, I'm from Los Angeles, but
What
I
part
don't-
of LA are you from?
so I grew up in West LA.
Oh, okay.
And then I moved to Orange County when my parents divorced. So I was kind of an LA OC, but I still claim LA because this is like where I really felt like, you know, I was becoming myself here.
Yeah.
And then after undergrad, I moved back to Los Angeles and spent, you know, several years here as like a young adult before I moved to New York. So
Okay.
yeah, I've kind of lived everywhere, but yeah. So,
Cool.
but dating elsewhere is okay. Like, I also don't really see my type here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Like, I just
What is
kind
your
of a lot
type?
of,
Yeah,
well,
what
there's
is
a
your
lot of
type?
empty shells here. A lot of
Yeah.
people who are trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm down with that, like finding myself thing and maybe working with someone or like dating someone and supporting them and finding themselves. Like, I get that.
growing together.
But they have to really want that.
Right.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the difference is that a lot of people don't even see that they like need to work on shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like,
A lot of
I'm
willful
cool with someone
ignorance.
who's in therapy because they know that they have shit to work on and they're there showing up, you know, doing the work. But
Yes.
folks who just act like they're perfect and then they shame other people for getting help are just a lost cause, in my opinion.
Big time.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, you touched on something that like going into my 30s is like my big thing of like kindness. Like
Yeah.
meeting people who are genuinely nice people. And it's like
Yeah.
not just to people they want to fuck, but like to everybody.
Yeah.
That is so much more of a turn on than how much money you have, like what
Yeah.
your like employment is, like just being a genuinely kind, caring person.
Yeah.
Because it is so hard to find, especially in the city. I feel like everyone really is self-centered and selfish and like an opportunist.
It's like so apparent if you like go to a party and meet someone and they're like, oh, what do you do? And then you tell them, and if it has nothing to do with them, they're like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't care anymore.
Or like
Right.
if I go to a party and it's like with my quote unquote hot friends and I'm like, it's like that kind of douchey scene where it's like this kind of bro party that I don't usually go to, but like every now and then I'll go to a party like that. And it's like none of the men even look at me or like acknowledge that I exist because they don't want to fuck me. It's like, I don't want to fuck you either. Like I'm just trying to be a civil person and like have a conversation. Like I'm
Yeah.
Totally.
not trying to do anything with
Yeah.
you, Brad, or whatever. the fuck. Like, but they'll just literally in a like a group with me and like two other girls. They'll only talk to those two girls. They'll only have
Yeah.
eye contact with them, and I'll just be like, Am I going crazy here? Like,
Am I invisible?
Am I fucking invisible right now? Like, you don't even want to acknowledge that I'm in this group with you?
Yeah.
Right.
And then you complain about it, and people are like, oh, you're just like reading too much into it, and you're being sensitive. And it's like, fucking you experience this and tell me how it feels.
Yeah, for real. Well, for me, I feel like I have to wear rainbows all the fucking time because no
Yeah.
one knows I'm gay when I'm in queer spaces. It's
Oh,
yeah. Like I work with Tomboy X. I totally love their stuff. They make lots of like genderqueer underwear and things, but they have like a whole like rainbow collection or whatever. And so I copped all those pieces because I have to alternate them, so I can have my rainbow crop top and my rainbow, long johns. And
You have to have your queer sign on your forehead.
I literally
You have to wave it.
tattoos on my forehead that just says like gay as fuck. I
I mean, that would be a cool tattoo.
right?
Maybe not the
Rose
forehead.
got one, right?
Oh, did she?
So, yeah, she got a tattoo forehead.
Oh.
Yeah. Or tattoo forehead. Forehead tattoo.
Wait, I kind of want to see that real quick.
Yeah,
what is it of?
I haven't seen what it says. I tried to look closely, but it's in handwriting and I couldn't read it.
Oh. Sorry.
That's a bold-
You got me very
Yeah,
curious.
and a lot of
area.
people came for her about it because she was really like standing up for herself, saying like, "I don't give a fuck. It's my forehead. Like I can do what I want." A lot of people were just like, "You're too pretty." Like respectability politics came into play. So people were like, "You're too pretty to do that. Why would you do that to yourself? You just ruined your face." I don't know. I just don't. The way I feel, I have one little tiny tattoo. It's like this little heart on my wrist, and I got it from my grandma when she passed away. My cousins and my sister and I all went the day of her memorial service, and it's the tiniest tattoo, not even like an inch large. But I'm like, if you want to tattoo the shit out of your body, go ahead. Like we're all gonna die one day. Like who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
know.
Yeah.
Like if you think that those cherries are cute, put them on your tits. Like what does it matter? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
That's just
know.
how I feel
People
about it.
policing other people. And it's like, it's not affecting you. So why do you care?
Like at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. It's like, do you pay my bills?
Yeah.
No. I mean, if you do, then maybe
If you paid for the tattoo, like
Right.
maybe you could choose where it goes.
exactly.
Okay, so single. Are you? You said you just got over really fully your last.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Relationship.
like a 2.5, 3 year process of getting over her.
Were you
But-
like dating in between then, or was it kind of like?
yeah, I had the
oh, okay.
situationships, but in between.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was getting some here and there, but like it's just again, people are even selfish lovers, like even past the like dating thing. But I will say, I've been asked out on dates before, and I remember this one date, like I think it was sometime the year before last, because last year was a whole mess. My father passed away, and like my friends ditched me, and my family wasn't there for me, and then I was drugged at a nightclub, fell on my face, cut my nose open, had to get 15 stitches.
Oh my God.
And so it was like 2019 was a rough year, but the year before that, when I was engaging in these situationships, someone asked me out on a date. We went to a bar for happy hour, and she ordered like 3 drinks. These were like $5 drinks. I ordered 1 drink, and she still was like expected me to pay for myself. And I'm like, you asked me out. I didn't even want to come out, and I came out to meet you. But I don't know. I just feel like people are just like cheap or something
Yeah.
when it comes to like that. Because it's like, if you wanted to make me feel like special or like you cared, just don't have your 3rd drink and like pay for mine first.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway,
Seems like a very confusing.
That's a hotly debated
confusing
topic.
thing,
Yeah.
especially in the queer community.
Yes.
Like it's confusing with the straights too, because like I don't know, there's a lot of guys that, and there's a lot of girls that are like, who pays? If he pays, it means all this, and like they read into it so much.
There's judgment if a guy doesn't pay.
Yeah. But yeah, it must be so confusing also with women, because
I
it's like it should be though. It should be that whoever asks.
that's what I was going to say. That's my
Yeah.
rule of thumb
Yeah.
for anyone who's curious. If you are asking someone out, just plan to pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if it's something like Tinder where like you're kind of asking each other out,
I mean, but I don't know. I still just, my default is like whoever says, hey, you want to do this thing. Even if it's like the person hosting
Yeah.
at their house, just sort of like have some snacks or like some drinks or something. And then if you are a guest at someone's home, bring something for God's sakes. I cannot stand when someone comes over, has nothing to bring, and they're like, "Oh, do you have any alcohol?"
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, what?
I know.
Yeah.
That is
I feel
the
like
weirdest thing.
I feel like our generation like didn't like some people got it, but not everyone gets it that like social norm. Like I'm like, didn't your parents tell you that? Like it feels weird to me to go to someone's house and not bring like a bottle of wine or something.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like I feel bad. I like actively if I couldn't go to the store, if like didn't have time or something, I'm like, oh God, I got to bring something.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. I know too that like, I mean, my experience is that, you know, I've dated a lot of Mask of Center folks, and like as a femme, you know, it'll take me 2 hours to get ready. That's a time investment on my part. So if someone is like rolling out of bed and meeting me for a date, buy me a damn drink. Like it took me forever to get this wing eyeliner, you know, going.
Yeah,
you know
right.
I mean? Like,
that is
you
a
know
very good
times,
point.
like I had to redo this glitter lip. Like, come on, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a commitment on my part. So like, do your part.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what are you trying to like? What do you want right now?
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, last year was like a clusterfuck of just awful shit.
Yeah.
So, I'm doing a whole lot of healing and stuff. So if I meet someone who really fits in with my like new lifestyle of like spending Sundays, like, I don't know, you know, meditating and shit, then like, I'm down, you know, I'm down to meet someone who kind of fits in to my life, but I don't want to force anything. Like I can't do that anymore. I've settled so many times for people who, again, were opportunistic and just didn't give a shit about me, and I'm not going to do that anymore. So I'm down to just like hook up or like meet someone for some cute dates or, you know, something deeper. But like, if it's something deeper, it has to be good because I'm not going to waste my time or my heart energy for any of that.
That's a good place to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like a very healthy, like...
Yeah. Well, the ball's in my court is how I feel.
Hell
you know?
yeah.
It's kind of like, it's what I want right now. And I think with the self-love stuff for so long, like I just didn't think that I mean, subconsciously, I don't think that I thought I deserved what I wanted. I don't think I deserved a good partner who loved me, you know, as I am now. And for so long, I was like, I got to lose weight before I can date, or I've got to do, you know, this has to happen before I can live my life.
Right.
And I no longer feel that way. So if I can look in the mirror and think I'm beautiful, then, you know, I should be able to get someone who feels the same way.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since you've already kind of started talking about it, like I know as a straight woman, like how difficult it can be to be like not thin and kind of broach that topic with guys and be like, I don't know, it's tough because it's like, as much as you love yourself and as much as you like are okay with your body, you know that not everybody feels that way. So how do you kind of approach that like, is it a conversation that you have? Like,
so I think, you know, one point for queers is that like versus straights, if we were having a contest, so if this were a tennis match,
the battle begin. Yeah.
Right. I feel like one thing that is really cool about being queer, and I don't know if I could say it's the case for lesbians, but like in queer spaces, I feel like anything kind of goes. So you can sort of come as you are in a sense. I don't really feel like I'm very much about like shaving my legs and like being well groomed, quote unquote, you know, but I don't feel like I have to do that. It doesn't feel like there's pressure to conform to some sort of a beauty standard, except the ones I put on myself.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that I sort of feel like, okay, this is my best representation of me and my gender. I kind of do those things. But as far as like any other expectations and stuff, I feel like it's a little easier to be queer. You know, like armpit hair, unshaved legs.
Right.
I'm actually not team armpit hair, but but I totally support it.
Yeah,
I
right.
think it's hot actually, but I'm just not into it for myself. But it's something that I feel like I have the freedom to do, and it wouldn't be like I wouldn't be looked down on.
Yeah.
For it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a little different with women because women also have women's bodies. Well, you know, but for men, they're always so concerned about what their friends are going to think.
Yeah,
They're
much
like,
more.
What are my friends going to say if I like date a fat person?
Right.
You know?
And you know, do you think it's changing? Like, I've noticed a change because I do think as much as there's still like a lot of work that needs to be done, I think that it is more overall socially acceptable. Like, you know, like there is
I think it's
body
like,
positive movement that's in the mainstream and like bigger bodies are on screen and stuff. And that kind of stuff helps, I guess, with normalizing like in the dating world, like guys are like, okay, I guess it'd be okay if I dated a fat woman, you know, like it sucks that that's how it has to be, but like that's kind of how.
Do you think it's because though that like now we're sexualizing fat bodies more, that now it's like, oh, I could fuck her, so
kind of maybe.
I think it is becoming more socially acceptable.
Well,
slowly.
in my mind, I think it's like men have always been capable of being attracted to fatter bodies.
They have always been.
Always, but just that shame stopped a lot of them from
like
pursuing it.
Yeah.
So I think now that they feel there's less social repercussion, they're a little more like, all right, like I'm open to dating like a fat woman, but like, you know, it's still not all the way there, and there's still like a lot of people who are very against it. But it's just like
you feel like going in the right direction though, like slowly.
I think so. I mean, just in my personal life, I've noticed like more men like initiating and approaching me than in my early 20s.
Right.
So I don't know.
I mean, I definitely get a lot of attention from straight men, at least more than when I go to like queer spots. But I also tend to go to more straight places now because the music is so much better. Like, I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it is about like gay bars, queer bars. Like the music just sucks. So I like to go to parties where the music's good, and that tends to be in queer spaces or in straight spaces. And the men definitely hit on me, especially, I mean, I find that black men in particular, they've always like been all about this thickness, but it's, I don't know. It's just, I think it definitely comes from a place of confidence and self-love, because even when I like didn't love myself, when I got attention, I just felt invisible because I didn't even see myself.
You know,
that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. It's a lot of self-change too that happens, and accepting it, and not like, I think in my early 20s, I would like, if a guy showed interest in me very quickly, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Like, wait a minute. Because I wouldn't have that like total self-confidence where I could believe that like a normal guy, quote unquote, could like be attracted to me.
Right.
And that has changed pretty drastically. So that's a good point too.
But it's so funny because I feel like I was that girl too, where like I felt like, surely they're not hitting on me, you know, they're just asking me like where the bathroom is. You know what I mean?
There's no way they're attracted to me.
But now I feel like I'm kind of in the same boat, but on the flip side, I now like see myself as a queen, and I feel like I'm still not getting dates because then people think that, oh, she's too good, or she thinks she's too good, or whatever. You know, I can't approach her.
Oh yeah,
which is weird.
You feel like people are scared of you because you're like
a little bit, and I'm very much in like a.
It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right?
Yeah,
it's just like I don't know where like that point is in the middle where like it just kind of works.
You gotta hate yourself just a little bit.
Totally. Be a little bit insecure.
just as a treat.
Right?
Well, it's hard to find someone that's like on your same level
yes.
of self-love. Like, I don't want to date with someone who like completely hates themselves and has no self-confidence, but like
they also can't be a narcissist asshole. Like,
right.
Yeah. They have to be like, you know,
right in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, how do you date? Are you on any apps or anything?
Ooh,
or
girl, I am on all of the apps. I had the best luck on OkCupid. I actually just posted this.
Really?
Yeah, this was like a long time ago when I had lots of luck. I haven't been getting luck lately, but but I just mean that I met several like long-term partners on OkCupid, and
I'm saying we got to bring OkCupid back.
Yeah, I know, it's cute. I love the quizzes and the match percentage. You know, you can see instantly like what your match percentage is with someone. But it's funny because 10 years ago, I posted this on my stories this morning. I went on a date with Lena Waithe. You know?
Oh,
we went to see a movie at the ArcLight, which was just so random. But it was 10 years ago before I went to grad school and before she totally blew up.
Yeah.
So can't say that was the best date. She really wasn't very nice. But, and that's putting it nicely.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But we became Facebook friends, and I was able to like kind of, see her, rise and stuff through on Facebook posts and stuff like that, which is cool. I wish her all the best. But yeah, so my last long-term relationship, we met on OkCupid. And so I'm still on there kind of for nostalgia purposes. Like, I know I'm going to find a good one from this damn website. But I'm on Tinder, which is just blah. I did open it up to men like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Just to try that out.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I went on like one date. The guy didn't pay for shit. And I was like dressed way cuter than he was, like presenting myself in like the best possible way. And he was kind of like, hey,
yeah,
like just got off my couch watching Netflix. Like, I don't know, I was whatever. And I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. I just love the complexity of like a woman and like just sort of queer understanding. And like maybe if a cishet dude were just like queer, that could be cute.
Yeah.
But the super straight heteronormative crap, I just can't get down with.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Tinder, OkCupid, Bumble, Hinge.
Ooh.
I have like Lex or something. It's like some like lesbian app or something on my phone. There's got to be another one. Oh, HUD or something.
Oh,
yeah. One. I haven't gotten
one.
shit on that. But, yeah, there may be another. I don't know. It seems like every week there's a new one, and everyone's like, I'm not on that one anymore. Now I'm on this one. And so then I download that stupid app, and then nothing comes from it. And then the next week it's another app. So
yeah. I mean, it really feels to me like the big ones, though, are always going to be like Tinder and Bumble and like OkCupid.
And Instagram DMs or something.
And Instagram. I mean, I would love it if more cool people slid into my DMs.
Same.
Yeah.
And not like fucking creeps in Ohio.
Same.
Like, like you have a wife and children. Why are you DMing me?
Absolutely. It's usually the ones with wives and kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can see your profile. Like, what are you doing?
I see your Christmas photo.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, if someone cool, like someone I wanted to fuck actually slid into the DM, like,
because I've heard it happen.
right?
Yeah. Like cute stories happen, and I know I've slid into DMs, and I'm cute. So like, what the fuck? But
How do you do a DM slide? I'm always curious to hear about people's tactics.
I mean, it honestly depends, but I often like if I see their story, like I'll comment. There was one person who was in Spain, and I used to live in Spain.
Oh.
So they posted some stories in Spain. So it's like nice because it's like we have that in common. It's also a little humble brag. It's also like, like kind of just like a talking point. And we, DM'd a little bit back and forth. We haven't met up or anything, but I still follow her. And I'm like, oh, so hot. But, I'll wait for that second touch
The
point.
long con. Yeah.
It's what do they say? It's a marathon, not a race.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I would love to do more DM sliding too. But like whenever I see a guy on Instagram that I'm like, ooh, I would slide into his DMs. Then I look at his tag pictures and he always has a girlfriend.
Always has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, never mind.
I just did some extensive snooping on someone I just followed. I was like, I bet he has a girlfriend, but doesn't show anything on the Instagram.
Yeah.
But then
So
I
look
found
at
his
the tag.
Twitter and he had a tweet like a month ago that was like, my girlfriend, da, da, da. And I was like, I fucking knew it.
That is so buried. Like, who's even on Twitter to like see that?
Yeah.
I bet he probably said to her, she was probably like, you don't mention me on social media. And he's like, look at this tweet from 2 months ago.
Exactly.
You tweet something and like a minute later it's buried. So like, what is the point? Twitter overwhelms me.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always that they're in a relationship. I'm like, fuck. And I get all excited when they follow me. It's like, oh, why'd you follow me?
Yeah.
There was a meme that I saw and it was like that feeling when, or one of those types of things, like that they structure the same way. But it said something about like when a femme likes a stud's like, masculine or like person who's queer, likes a stud's photo and then you think that they're going to date you or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's so real because sometimes you feel like, okay, I'm going to follow this person and then like a couple other posts and then they're going to slide into my DMs and then we're going to get married, but it never really happens that way.
Yeah.
It's that fantasy projection.
Right?
Big time. Yeah. I'm guilty of it too.
But I'm just all about being bold, you know? Honestly,
Yeah.
this conversation is making me say, like, fuck it. I'm just going to, like, go after what I want. Who cares? I mean, because at the end of the day, like, and this is what kind of helps me in any social situation. Anytime I get, like, a little twinge of, like, social anxiety, I just remind myself that, like, everyone is dealing with their own shit and everyone has their own insecurities. So just remembering that, like, we're all human and I'm not the only one who, you know, may feel some type of way about my role or what, you know, just whatever. It just kind of reminds me, like, just go out and be confident, you know? Like, a lot of people are too scared to be. So just go be that one who's not scared and you'll probably catch a lot more, you know, that way.
It's true. Yeah.
It is
That's
true.
what I want to, like, now that I'm single again, I really want to, like, get better at, like, actually hitting on people in real life. I, like, rely on Tinder a lot. Like, I can be very flirty on Tinder, like, no problem. But it's because I already know there's, like, an attraction there. So I feel like there's, like, that safety net.
Yeah.
Like, I want to, like, approach someone, like, at a bar or something. Like, I want to do that. Like, that's this year, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to
It's badass. I really think, like, when women just go after what they want. I mean, it depends. Like, if I've been drinking. If I've, like, you know, smoked some weed. I don't know. Then maybe I'll, like, have a little bit more kind of, you know, gumption and confidence to do it. But I don't know. I don't really. I kind of actually. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of awkward when I go out. I don't like to make eye contact. Like, it really makes me feel weird. Eyes are the windows to the soul. Unless I know that, like, we're doing something. Like, it's hard for me to just, like, look at somebody because then I don't want them to think, oh, she's into me, I can go approach her. Because oftentimes it's like a random dude whose eye I'm catching, but I'm not. I'm like, like, I don't know. I just get really nervous. My friends don't understand it. I'm pretty confident, but then I get so nervous in those types of situations.
Yeah. I know.
Weird.
It's weird. Yeah. Well, then let's both do it this year. Let's both make a pact.
Totally. I feel like, you know, as we were talking about sliding into DMs, I was like, ooh, sliding into DM Thursday. Maybe every Thursday I need to, like, slide into one DMs.
I like
chronicle
that
journey, you know.
Put it in the schedule.
Oh, I like that. Setting an alarm, like, DM slide.
Totally.
It's
Why
DM
not?
o'clock. Yeah.
I mean, it's worked for me. Like, I had a little fuck buddy situation, like, not too long ago, and that was a DM slide situation.
That's
Yeah.
kind of the equivalent of, like, approaching somebody in real life. Like, it's outside of the dating app world still, and it's like, it's just like the virtual version.
And they live around here. So it's not like somebody who's, like, in Texas and I'm
you know, it's just like
never gonna have
meaningless,
one,
like,
pals or something.
Yeah.
That's good.
Nice. Well, there you go. Doing that. You're there. You're at DM slide stage, which is pretty good.
It's sad. It's a sad stage. So I'm not proud of it, but
well, it's just like the fear of rejection doesn't haunt you.
Oh no. I often have friends say, you know, that they're afraid of being rejected. And I'm like, guys do it all the damn time.
Yeah.
Guys forever are, like, shooting their shot, missing, and then shooting it again.
Yeah.
Like,
Bouncing back.
right.
Yeah.
Why do we feel so bad when we are rejected?
Yeah, just once, and then
Right.
you're like, oh, they didn't want me. I guess I can never do that ever again.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Like,
true.
And we
no,
internalize it.
Totally. And I wrote about this in my book, but, like, there's, like, the lessons that I've learned from dating fuckboys, and I'm like, I need to actually take some of the lessons from them because like, I dated this one guy who was horrible, like, such an asshole, but like, I saw him and he was like, he, like, directs music videos and stuff. And I saw him just, like, go up to artists and just be like, hey, can I direct your next music video? Just, like, asking blatantly. And sometimes they'd be like, no. And he'd be like, okay. Like, and just keep, like, go on and do it to the next person. Like,
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
didn't care.
All
And I'm
those
like,
things are
wow,
numbers
I
games.
need to do that more, like, asking for what I want. And-
True.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think we're more self-aware overall. So, like, we see stuff like that and we're like, oh, that's kind of cringy.
Yeah.
It's like, but at the same time, like, they get results. So
Yeah.
it's like, maybe we should adopt some of their...
It works, though.
Maybe try to do it less cringy, like
Right.
just figuring out that balance. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
I also think going with the cringe and making it like so cringy that it's funny is also a good move.
Or self-aware cringe, like, look, I know this is cringe, but
exactly.
I just want to fucking talk to you.
When we were at Target, my best friend saw this guy that she thought was hot, and I was like, go talk to him. And she was like too scared to. She's like, what do I even say? And I was like, just stand next to him and say, you know, this view is really great over here. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Or like just something stupid. You know what I mean?
Like a corny pickup line.
I just wanted to stand here because you're the hottest guy in Target. Like it literally can be anything.
Yeah.
Just like laugh it off, you know, because he probably won't remember everything you said anyway. It's more about like how you made him feel. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Who said that? It's a quote. People won't remember what you said. They'll remember how you make them feel.
Huh.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like
I've never heard that before.
Maya Angelou or something.
Yeah, and also Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Hello.
Yeah, the two greats. Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
It does. We got to be big and bold.
Let's
and
do it. Big and bold. Who am I going to DM right now?
Right?
Yeah.
I almost feel like you guys should do that every show.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just like start off the show DMing someone.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Okay.
Challenge ourselves.
I'll try it. I'll give it a go.
I mean, I think too with the self-love thing is I want everyone else to feel good. And so I like to just like come at, you know, meeting people from like a place of like, I just want to make them feel good, you know? So like, cause I am not an opportunistic person and I'm not trying to use people. So I know that I'm, you know, good hearted and I, you know, love and want to share it. So if I can go out and like share that with someone that I think is
flatter them
and I want to bang, then like, why not?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a great attitude to have.
Yeah, I love it.
And also, like, about the girlfriend thing, almost everybody's poly now. So really, like, you probably still have a chance.
Yeah. Okay, good point.
Factor facts.
Good point. I mean, if I just want to fuck, it could happen. Yeah, that's true.
Totally.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. I just, like, yesterday ended a very brief Tinder back and forth with someone who was decently cute and had, like, a cute vibe and stuff. They had, like, daddy vibes. That's, like, my weakness. But they said that they were in an open relationship and never said that it's actually a marriage. And so I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't know what your experience with poly is, but my last relationship was poly. And so I'm very compersive. I know all about like, you know, feeling love when my partner gets love and not being, you know, super attached or controlling about someone and all that. So free love all the way. But I just didn't appreciate that they lied to me about being married. And my friends kind of were on different sides of the fence about that. They were like, yeah, but maybe it's just hard for people who are married to find someone, you know, if they're in an open relationship. And I'm like, yeah, but that's just manipulative. Like you're literally lying to someone because they made it seem like
just
it was
say
just
open
a girlfriend.
marriage.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But to be like,
that's a red flag, especially if they're poly, because so much of like working out in a poly relationship or like having a healthy poly relationship is communication.
Totally.
And
so
honesty.
It's like, honesty, you have to be like way more communicative and honest than just like a regular monogamous relationship.
Totally. I mean, it's called
like,
ethical non-monogamy for a reason.
Yeah.
It's ethical.
But like part of that is being like super honest.
Totally. Yeah.
So yeah, I would see that as a red flag.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, I love quotes too. So there was like, I read something and it was like, you know, like walk away at the first red flag or something. I mean, I don't know how that would play out because I feel like at some point you'd get a first red flag, but it's like, if nothing's been invested in this yet.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to walk away. Like I owe you nothing.
Yeah.
You know? I don't owe you my time or my affection. So
you hadn't actually met up or anything yet?
No,
okay.
we hadn't. We were going to this weekend. But then I was like,
how did you find out about the marriage?
Yeah, right. Okay. So I didn't even do any stalking. You know, my younger days, I would stalk like crazy, but now I'm kind of lazy. So this person requested or followed me on Instagram. And so I followed them back. I had to request. So I waited, you know, because they're private. So I waited for them to accept my request. And then I looked on their very first photo was with another woman. And so I was like, who's that? So like I searched the little username and she had the same last name. And I was like, okay. So then I looked on her grid and there was all these pictures of the two of them together. And it was very clear that this was like a marriage situation. And that's when I was like, hey, good morning. And then like my next message was like, yeah, so are you married? And then they were like, yes, I am. And I'm like, okay, you didn't like explain that before, you really made it seem like it was just a relationship that you recently opened up because it was a sexless relationship, quote unquote. That's very different than being in a marriage. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I just feel like if there's no shame in your game, put it out there.
Right.
You know? And if people don't like it, too fucking bad. You're married. Like that's just your situation. But I don't know. When people kind of pretend to be something they're not, I just can't.
Yeah. And I also, it's hard because so many times people have been like, oh, I'm in an open relationship. But then you like, find out that, oh, the other person doesn't know that.
Exactly. Like it's open on your side.
It's like, I want to talk to the other person.
Exactly.
Like, I want to know like what your situation is.
Right.
And if they can't answer that, then it's like,
that was my concern too. Cause then I was like, if they're going to lie to me about being married, are they also lying to me about the terms of their relationship? You know? Like, how do I know? I mean, I actually just got out of a situation like that last year with someone who lied to me about being married. So, I just,
I find that as of late, like the older I get, lying is so much more of a turnoff. Like I used to like, and even when I used to give little white lies myself every now and then. And like, now I'm like, so like, it just rips me up more than it used to. Like, I'm just like, wow, lying really fucking sucks. Like, even if it's a small lie, like it's still like, oh my God, like this is a big fucking, it really says something about a person if they lie a lot. Like it really like gets at me more than it used to. Like I used to be able to be like, oh, whatever, like make excuses. Like, well, they were just feeling this, da. But now I'm like, I'm not putting up with lying like at all. Like lying is just such a bad thing to do.
I think it's also once you become authentic and like, it publicly authentic and just like proud of who you are and what you bring to the table.
There's no reason to lie.
And you're not going to accept someone else like deceiving you because you would never deceive them because you're being your full, true, authentic self.
Yeah.
And the only reason, well, not the only, but a lot of the reason that people lie is because they can't accept whatever it is about themselves. So they want to hide it and suppress it.
It's like insecurity or something. Like, you'll deny them if they tell you the truth about who they are or what's going on.
It always makes things worse. Like, it might fix things in the short term, but in the end, it always just blows up and is like 10 times worse than what it would have been if you just said the truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No more lying, everybody.
I know. Just
Let's be honest.
Be real in 2020.
Yeah. I think that's a good note to end on, maybe.
Yeah.
Be real in 2020. Maybe some good final word. Do you have any other final words? Any other
I don't know. Just follow me on Instagram.
Oh, for sure.
Chief of Style, or my website, chiefofstyle.com. But yeah, I'm Amy Stretten. And if you want to slide into my DMs, please do so.
Permission to slide.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slide all you want.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Well, cool. We are V Single Podcast.
Yeah.
Follow us. If you don't, join our Facebook group.
Yep.
It's the only reason we're on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to hear our bonus episodes, patreon.com/vsingle. All right.
Boom.
Bye.
Bye.
Get that glowy, dewy skin for yourself by visiting glossier.com/podcast/single. Learn more and take the quiz to find your ultimate Glossier skincare routine. Plus, all new customers will get 10% off their first order on glossier.com/podcast/single. Again, that's Glossier, spelled GLOSSIER.com/podcast/single. Certain exclusions apply.